Hello, Salar. Yeah, so we talk about monitoring and evaluation. We define the monitoring and evaluation, and we said it is an routine process that you will do on, let's say, daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis, depend on the need of this process. You will, let's say, monitor the where is your, let's say, the activity and what is the output that you reach. For example, the target that you have been achieved. You will monitor this objective toward the program, but in evaluation, you'll evaluate this objective, which is the outcome and the impact for the program. Also, it is the evaluation of the social researches. Yeah, and we talk about the framework and the framework for the monitoring and evaluation, and we already done a spreadsheet about let's say an example or a small or sample of framework, which is, I think we put it here. Yeah, these ones. Yeah. And we talk about the indicators, what is the good indicators, and should be valid, reliable, precise, timely, and comparable. Yeah, sorry. Okay. Yeah. And we said the standard indicator and the type of standards indicators. Yeah, we talk about all of that, and this is what we write down in our Google Cloud spreadsheet. And I'll show you the BMZ framework, monitoring framework or meal framework, and we will back in it in a second or a minute after we complete our recap. And we talk about the M&E plan, if you already remember. And we mentioned that all of the project will have input and output. Most of the project have a process evaluation. Some of the project have outcome and monitoring and evaluation. A few have impact. Okay. And we said impact in bigger project, and let's say less smaller project will have an outcome, and all of the project will have an output. Okay, so we didn't ask this question yet, but we will ask it after we view the back to the BMZ. Sorry, let me share it 1 second. Okay. Yeah. We'll back to this one. If you can see it clearly, say yes. Today, I think there's all the problem in the internet and the connection. Yeah. So we said in this project, we have an impact. The impact is overall goal, which is our strategic goal, which is contribute to recover of conflict affected men and women and boys and girls in Anbar. And we said there is an outcome, and each outcome have output, which was 4 output for the first outcome and 2 output for the second outcome. And we said we will put an example about that, and we will see this example. But let's go in this sections that we said there is indicators, and the indicator should be either qualitative or quantitative. The indicator is let's say, it is the criteria for select your target group or your beneficiary. You will put, let's say, for example, boys, or for example, or kid, toddlers, adult, for example, any criteria that you will put depend on, for example, in a demographic way, and demographic contain age, for example, gender, education, and income, education, let's say occupation. This is the general things about the demographic. And about the geographic, it have the exact geographic, that the places that you will target, for example, targeting men and women inside this place, for example, which is the geographic segmentation. So you are dividing your beneficiaries on some indicator, which is a criteria or measurement tool to select your beneficiaries or your target group. And here is the definition. And we said baseline is your starting point. Data collection sources should be either from the report you have or from the monitoring sheet or monitoring rules, or from your focus group discussion, depend on the sources that you are bringing the data collection. The data collection method, that the way you are collecting the data, okay. Frequency, which is the of data collection, which is what how many times you will do your monitoring, or the time that you will do the collection. Responsible person, who is the people in charge, which is maybe the meal people, or maybe you'll put someone from the program who will do the monitoring call, or monitor the details about that. But each one is different. Maybe you will assign some people different here, and the outcome in each outcome. Okay, so the first one was wash, the first outcome. But when we are dividing this goal by 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, what we call this a process? If you can write it down in the chat. Okay. If you heard about it before, we call it work breakdown structure, that you do a breakdown for your work as a structure. So everything related to outcome number one, which will be 1.1. Okay. 1.2, 1.3, 1. But if we have something related to 1.2, we should put it 1.2.1. Okay, so that we call it a work breakdown structure. You will break every, let's say, every point here, every goal here, you will break it for a point related to the point that you are preparing. For example, this is output 1, output 2, and output 3. So the first one, which is the outcome, output, and other related things inside this output, which was 1.1.1.2 as an example. Yeah. So if you have any question about that, please go ahead. If not, we will continue our example that we talk about. Okay. Yeah. So our example here. Yeah. Text. Yeah, sorry guys. Okay, so our example here, we have a food distribution, 5 5,000 food parcels. This is the example that we said this will be the bigger example that we are all talking about, which will cover the monitoring and evaluation things. Okay. So we have a food parcel, which is 5,000 food parcels. And we should distribute it in 6 months. Yeah, sorry guys. Okay. Okay, sorry guys. Today the internet is very, very bad. Yeah. So our example here is we have 5,000 food parcels. We should distribute it in 6 months. And you have 4 staff to do the job. Okay. So our example here will be for each month, what is your target will be? You can write in the chat. How you will divide your target for each month. Okay. So yeah, 1,200 for each month, as Salar said. So the first month you came to distribute your food parcels. What you intend to make it is 1,200. Guys, how many you will divide it? 1,200 or how much? Okay, let's make it easier here. Let's make it the target is 6,000. Okay. So we will divide each month by what? If it is 6,000. Okay, it is food and you are trying to distribute the food to the people. And mainly, I think it will be, your first target will be by, let's say 1,000. Yeah, the project duration is 6 months. Let's put our main target, which is 1,000 food parcels per month. Okay. And when it came to distribution, your staff only distribute 400 for food parcels. Okay. So, which is 40% of the target. Okay. So, my question here is, my simple question here, your next month target, what is your next month target? Okay. You will keep it 1,000 or not? You will make it 600? I need the answer from all of you guys, please. Okay, what do you think? So 600 per person? Okay, so 900. Okay, so if the next month your target is, or let's say we stayed on our plan because we don't know what happened, and our plan, which is 1000, and they also distribute, but this time they distribute only 250 food parcels. Okay, which is 25% of your overall target, your target per month. Okay, so, and you stayed here next month on the same level of the target, 1000. And they, when it came to distribution, they only distribute 300 or less. Let's make it 150, which is 15% of the target. So now I want you to speak, each one. You came to this case. What is your solution? Because your staff is getting down and down and they are not distributing on the right way. So what is your solution? Starting by Amna.
I think I raise the number of distribution.
Okay. But they will not achieve anything because they are in the same number and they are getting low and low and low.
Okay, then I'll hire more staff.
Okay. So either you will raise the target or you hire more staff. Okay. So let us stick with your plan and going to Hind. You're coming to your staff and your staff performance is getting low and you find out that their distribution is also their, let's say their output is less and less and less. What you will do? What is your action?
Actually, that will depend on the area that we are targeted. So probably we will go to discussion with the donor to see if we can make a revision, an amendment to change the targeted area. So by that, there is a chance to increase the targeted beneficiaries. Probably I will do that.
Okay, so you will integrate the targeted the number of the beneficiaries and you will change the area. This is your plan by talking with the donor and make a revision. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's go with Nadine.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I think first we have to try and find out what actually the reason is for their poor performance, right? So we should probably get in touch with our M&E team and ask them what went wrong.
Okay. And after that? What you think your actions?
Well, as I said, as long as I don't know what the reason is the reason because they can't identify enough beneficiaries, is the reason that the transportation of the food parcels is too late or problematic, or is it just that the staff is lazy? You know, I find it difficult to answer this
Yeah, we have.
question without really knowing the reason for the problem.
Yeah, you just find out. So that the number you just came as a program manager, and you find out that the staff is not performing well. So what is your scenario here? Maybe there is something in the field, maybe something in the staff. What you think? What is your action? This is the idea here.
Well, first of all, I would probably hold a meeting with the staff to try to find out what's going on. Or as I said, first, if we have monitoring on this project, look at the monitoring, look at the reports, talk to the people, find the reason for this, and then I can decide what we have to do.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Omar?
Hello? Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay. In my opinion, we would dividing to according to the beneficiaries, I would say, and according to our needs.
Okay. But let me say it again. You came, you just been hired, and you find out that your staff not doing well in the field. So what is your first
Yeah.
action?
Take the problem like step by step, like take it one by one.
Okay.
See what the negative part is, evaluate it, and solve it step by step.
Okay. So you will do an evaluate for the problem, and you see what
Yes.
is the output of the evaluation,
Correct.
and you will seek the result for that. Okay, thank you, Mr. Amar. Let's go with Sajja.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I think there are some constraints in this project exactly. Maybe the budget is not match with the target of beneficiaries. Maybe there are some constraints in the field that prevent the staff to reach to that target. I think we must just see where is the issue exactly to solve it, to increase the
Okay,
food basket,
so what
I
is
think.
your first action?
First action to match the budget with the expenses for this food basket.
Okay, but we
first.
already have the food bag, but your staff, they not distribute your target. They are not
Maybe
achieving.
there is some constraints in the field that prevent them to reach each food basket to the beneficiaries. Maybe there is some problems in the field that prevent them to reach to the target exactly. Or they are lazy stuff. I don't know. Maybe. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. So I think Salar. Parmigian.
Good evening, all.
Good evening.
I think first thing we should know the problem. What is? If the food basket for the beneficiaries is in the conflict area that make hard to reach them, is one reason. Or the thing it's out of the control of the organization. Or the other thing, maybe it's we can. If we need to hire more staff, if it's available, or extend the project time 2-3 months, so we can reach the all beneficiaries and distribute the food basket. I think.
Okay. Okay.
That's-
Great idea. Great idea. Thank you. So,
Yeah.
first of all, when you came to place and you see these problems, the first thing is you will do a staff meeting. That's the first thing you will do. Yeah, you know, your answers is a great one combined to another, but let's do it by sequence. So the first thing you will do is do the staff meeting. You go to the field and you hear from them, because there's something called I don't know if you heard it before or not. Oh, keyboard is not working well. Okay. So you wanted to define the risk. We can put it in this formula, which is first one is your first P is political. Maybe there is some political risk or political issue happening in the places that they are distributing. Maybe after the first P is the first E, which is economical. Maybe something economical happening in the field, happening with your staff, and that delaying them from achieving their target. Or S, which is security, which is maybe some security issue, related issue to what happening to your staff, to your staff in the field. Maybe some checkpoint doesn't allow them to go and distribute the food, for example. So this is a security issue. Or maybe there is a technological issue, maybe something technological happening. Or maybe something related to the environment, maybe bad weather, maybe it is raining, so they cannot reach the beneficiaries. Or maybe there is some legal issue, maybe your organization not registered or anything, some legal things that they doesn't allow you to get inside this area. So this is the thing that you should keep in your mind when you are analyzing the issue. So when you are starting the meeting with your staff, you will talk with them, and let's say, for example, talk with them about the second month. And you will divide the month by, legal. Okay. You will divide the month for 4 segments. And we call it a breakdown. You'll break down the month for 4 weeks, and you see each week how many they distributed. So let's say this one, they distributed, let's say 50. $100, $50, $50. So, because sometimes your staff, they don't have, let's say, sorry to say that, but not all of them, but they don't have the mind to, or the knowledge or the experience to doing, let's say, they analyze the issue or these type of things. So they will back to you about that. So you will check with them. The first week, where did you go? They will tell you maybe we went to Tel Afar, for example. Okay, what happened there? How many did you distribute? 50. What happened there? Or this one thing, maybe one of the staff is distributing all and the other staff is they are lazy or not distributing, or they are making some problems or some issue. It's happening a lot. Maybe there is some tension and they do not do the distribution. Maybe there is some, you know, there is issue, some tribals places and some of the staff is from another tribe and they have issue with them, so they don't distribute to them. So for example, I will explain to you one of these problems, which is I faced. I was a program manager. I write the program, I write everything. And when I went to do the field visit, I found out there is a woman, big woman, and she came to me and told me, your staff, they don't give us any food or any NFI, for example. Why? When I write the program, I said for all Mosul, not for one place to another. Okay, so I came to the staff, and the staff, I asked him, why you are don't give to this old lady? He said, because the project manager said, don't distribute to this the people who is from another area, which is the people who are coming from Gayara, for example. I was the program manager. He doesn't, so I write the program. So when I called him and told him, why you done that? Okay, they have some problems and they are from ISIS. I told them we are humanitarian. We are not part of any issue. If even they came from another parties or conflict parties, we don't care because they are beneficiaries. So you distribute to them, call your staff to act right now and to distribute to the people. So yes, it happened. Yeah, there are some people, sorry, they have this mentality. So you should always follow up. And this is why the accountability exist, because we should hear from the beneficiaries also. There should be a feedback mechanism, and we will talk about that in our training. Yeah. So you will go to find out what is the problem. Even if you break down each week by 7 days, even if you break down the days to find out what is the exact problems and solve it. And yesterday we talked about, or no, the day before that, I told you there is a, they call it a division factor. Give me 1 second, let me write it to you. Division factor, which is when it happens, like for example, no, it should be like that. Okay, so our first point was here, which is if that from 1,000, our first point was here. Our second point was here. Our third point was here. And we started from here. From 0 to this one and reaching here. Okay, so you see us going to a division, and you can find out some equations and these type of things about the division factors and the standard deviation factors and how you analyze the data that you are having. And when it happens, they are getting in low and low, you can check out that. But the first thing is the orientational meeting with your staff. This is very important thing to think about. And after that, checking the problem, break down what's happening, check the risk factors here. What is maybe any type of risk is happening. So after your meeting, so if anyone have a calculator to count with me. Also, the second problem here, your target should be not static or fixed. Your target should be bringing everything together. Let's say, for example, when I distributed only 400, I should divide the 5,600 on 5 months, not keeping my target, fixed target like 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. On the remaining, I will have, let's say, a lot of of my target, my overall target doesn't achieved. Okay, so can you count me this number? 400, 250, 150, and minus it from 6,000. So we have 3 months remaining. Divide the remaining on 3. What is the number? Okay, so let's put our target here. Yeah. So let's do it like 1, 7, 30, 30, because we will need these numbers. Okay, so on the same process, you talk with them, you find out the issue. I told you, maybe, so you should follow up. Maybe one of your staff is distributing everything and the others is sitting on the office, they doesn't do anything. So when we find out what is the problem, we fix it. So let's see. Maybe the area is closed. Maybe the people are there, they hate your organization, for example, because some area, they don't like some nationalities, for example, or some name of organizations. And you know what happened to, I think, ACF or Oxfam in the Africa. Yeah, it is a lot of things happening in our humanitarian work. Yeah. So when it came here, this is my target for the month. So my staff here, they distributed okay. Can you divide this number on this number to give me the percentage? 1,250 from 1,700. What is the percentage that from that? And our finance manager, yeah, she know how to deal with numbers. Yeah. So, okay, so 7 to, yeah. Okay, so we have a good achievement here. So our next number, our next point will be here. Yeah, look like here. Okay, yeah, so. And what is the remaining from the 6,000 if we can't? 800 plus 1,250. Okay. 2,050 minus 6,000. Okay, the number is here. Divide it on 2, please. Okay, thank you. So our next target will be, okay, 5, yeah, 5, okay. So here is our next target. And when it came to distribution, they distribute What is the percentage that from that, please? $83. Oh, okay. Yeah. What is the remaining from the overall number? $800 plus 1,250 plus 1,750 minus 6,000. What is the remaining? Okay, cool. Which is that will be your target for the last month. And when it comes to distribution, what they have done is they distribute. Let's keep it with 50 is better. Or no, let's make it easier. So we have remaining 200 food parcels. What is the percentage that from that? %? You think so? Well, I think it is more 90, but okay, let's see. Okay. So the overall we distribute is, okay. Can you give me the percentage that from that? 5,800 from 6,000. What is the percentage? Okay. We have two numbers right now. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so let's see here. Let's write it down and okay. So if I ask something, which is very easy to say, what is our outcome and what is our output here? Let's not make it by chat. I want to hear from you. Amna, please go ahead.
Well, the output, I reached the target. All the people get what they. What I mean, I reached the target, but the outcome, the people can get the benefits from the target.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. Hind. What is your output and what is your outcome here? In this example.
The output is distributed 5,800 kids, and the outcome is improving the health of the people by distributing the food in the society.
Okay.
That's what I.
Okay, thank you. Let's go with Nadine. What do you think?
Yes, what Hind said, the output is the distribution of 5,800 kits. And the outcome is the increase or improvement of food security for 5,800 families or individuals, depending if it was a family food basket.
Okay, thank you. Let's go with Omar.
Yes. Okay. The outcome here is going to be 5,800 kits. Oh, so this will be fighting the starvation problem in that particular area.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Mr. Omar. Let's go with Saja.
The outcomes is 5,800. We can prevent people from starving food, kind of.
I couldn't hear you very well. Your internet was bad. Can you repeat it again? I think there's some issue, Saja, with your internet. Saja, your mic is not, I think there's some issue. Try to talk again, please. Okay. Yeah. I think there's some,
Okay. The out
yeah.
will be 5,800.
Okay.
And the hello?
There's some issue with your internet, I think. Let's go with Salar,
I
and
think
after
the
that,
problem is with my internet connection.
yeah,
Hello?
let's go with Salar with and after that we back to you, please. Thank you. Saja, if you hear me. Please, Salar.
I think the output is the basket have been distributed over the families or beneficiaries,
Okay.
and the outcome here is the family that they got the assistant that will improve their lives, or they will get benefit from it for a month or 2 months, depends on the basket. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so, yeah, I think everyone is joined to talk. Okay, yeah. So, our,
Okay, you can.
yeah, we
No?
hear you. We hear you, good. Yeah, please go ahead. Same problem, Saja.
Output is 5,000. The outcome is the benefit we will get it from. Sorry, I don't know what the normally right now.
Yeah, yeah, there's a lot of issue in your voice. Yeah, so I heard from you that the output is 5,800, and you said
Hello?
the percentage is the outcome. Okay. Yeah.
Hello. You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. Yeah, so let's continue our discussion about this example. Okay, so Saja, there's still some.
The outcomes
Yeah.
will be
Okay. Let's
benefit we get from this project is to prevent
yeah.
this
Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, let's continue. So our output is as we mentioned before, and always we are mentioning, your output is always, let's say 90% is you count it by number. It is by number. Okay, this is your output, which is how many food parcels did you distribute it, which is 508,000. And what is the percentage of the people who got improved, their life is improved, because mainly all the outcomes is come with the word improved, which is now you have the overall achievement, which is reasonable achievement, which is 96% is the people who their life is improved by getting the aid from our organization. Okay. This is what we call it when you start the let's say distribution. It was the baseline. This is your target. Okay. The overall number, which is also to the number of your beneficiaries, if it is a family, which is they call it household, which is 6,000 a household, you got reached 5,800. So when it came, we have some problems and some issue in distributing. We have to read the data, analyze the information, make the action. In analyzing, we should know what is the thing that affecting our work. Let's say, for example, if it is political, if it is economical, if it is security, if it is technology, if it is, let's say, environment, if it is legal, or if it is also, there is some issue in your staff performance. So this is the thing that you should keep in your mind. So also, we will say it again, your output, you read it by numbers, and your outcome, which is you read it by talk, because 96 people, their lives got improved when they eat from the food. Okay. Your target for each month was this one, which is the lesson to be learned, that don't put your target same as every month. If we put it 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, in the end, we will find out that we did not distribute the whole number and we did not reach to overall percent. So what is the remaining divided on the number of the month? What is the remaining divided on the number of the month always? So when you will distribute, you will find out that you already done earlier than the other let's say partners, for example, depend on the situation that you are working on. Yep. So, and we saw our, let's say our trend was on low, going in minus. Maybe it was reaching the minus, but after that, it is jumped by your wise decision to talk with your staff, and it is raised like that. Okay. So that good when you listen from your staff. And the other thing that you need in the cycle to communicate with the people who is, let's say, who is working with you, let's say the beneficiaries and your donor and your staff, always listen from the people. So in this case, we back to our presentation. Which we was saying this example, but I will make it more clear, which is that will be your homework, and we will combine everything on the last lecture, not the day after tomorrow, the last one. We'll combine everything to create our own meal kit. Okay, so your homework will be, if you have a protection project, hear this word. If you have a protection project and you ask for a fund, just hear my word, don't look on the slide. So you ask for a fund and you have a fund right now and you start your project. Your project was 3 years. But on the second year, they cut down the fund. Okay. What the change will happen to your M&E plan? What the thing that you think it will be changed? Maybe you will put some lines, maybe you will say maybe the number of the beneficiaries, or what you think about that. You suddenly find out that the donor will not give you any money, and you have a people of concern or people of beneficiaries. And what is your solutions here? Right now, if you are in the same case. Okay, so I will ask this as an homework. I will need it from you. And if you have any question for our last example, please go ahead. But I think you are very smart. You already got it. But if you have any question, please go ahead. If not, we will. I will see you day after tomorrow. Yeah, please.
Sorry, guys. Do you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Hello?
Yeah, Nadim, we hear.
So you mean they, because you said cut down, but you have written cut off, you mean they totally stopped funding, right?
Yeah, they totally stopped funding.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. This is a different idea. So yeah, we are creating some. Yeah, please, Saja, go ahead.
You can hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, I just have a question.
Yeah.
If you have a target for some beneficiaries, 1,000 basket food, okay?
Yeah.
But when you surprise, your target is not matching with the same number of the beneficiaries, what you can do as a management?
Okay.
You have more beneficiaries, but you have a less number of food baskets. What you can do?
Okay. So first of all, why we do the need assessment? Why we do the data collection before we creating the project? To find out the number of the people that will be our beneficiaries. Let's say I will study this village, and I find out that the village have, for my indicator, let's say for pregnant women, have 300 pregnant women. So this is exact number which I will distribute. So if you find out when you are reaching the level, which is the implementation level, and you find out that the number of the beneficiaries is not matching with the number that you have, here is the first thing is it was a bad planning because your source was wrong. Sorry to say that. Maybe you choose a wrong source to bring your information. So the next step you will do, you will have a meeting with the donor. And sometimes, if you remember the solicited proposal, and we talk about that, solicited proposal, it may be sometimes you make it verbally. So you will sit with the donor and you told them we need to expand our budget. So there is also a problem, which is I will explain tomorrow for the people who are in a proposal, but I'll explain it right now for you. When you have a budget line, for example, a budget line for WASH and budget line for the health, you cannot change from that to another, from one to another, okay? Because they count it as, let's say, a whole budget of their donation, and they don't want to change in the result. They call it result. The European Union, they call it result. Result for WASH and result for health. So what you can change, for example, in WASH, you will bring from a budget line, for example, for soap to put it to the water, from the water facilities to put it on the water, and you do a revise on your budget and expand more the number of the distribution kit or the thing that you are distributing. But if you want to change from result to another result, which is this, 100%, 90%, it's not acceptable by a lot of donors. Maybe you can get from the support cost, but also if you change in the support cost, this is totally wrong, because you already put it as a plan that this is your support cost, which is, this is the plan depend on this support cost. How many vehicles that will move. If you cut from that, you cannot distribute. So something to relate it to another. So the first thing you have to think about is your good planning. And your good planning is relay back not only on you, on the sources. So when we are nominated, the most, let's say, source that I trust is my staff in the area, my field staff, okay? My assessment that I have done, but I have to read it carefully, okay? So thank you, Saja. Please, go ahead.
Regarding the example that we had,
Yep.
what I don't understand, to be honest, when I was a project manager in the past, usually I put a target, the maximum target that I can get on a monthly basis, I put it on the first month of the distribution. I did that because I'm sort of was like the person also who holds the budget, sort of, to make sure that. So I put the maximum target at the first month to see if I'm really gonna distribute the full quantity within this duration. If not, within the first 2 months, I probably will reach my manager to say, let's suggest to change the area to the donor. That's why I always put the first month is the maximum target I can get to see the full picture of the project. But you know, if we will wait, let's say at the fourth month, there is a big chance that they're going to say, okay, reimburse the money, because you cannot get the full quantity. And by that, there is no chance to ask for any change in the plan because the, let's say, the expire of your question, because that question will be expired already. Many donors saying you have 3 months before the end of the project, the validity to ask for any amendment. So why we put the less target at the first month? That's what I didn't understand, because that will limited us.
This is an example, first of all. So I put it for 6 months and a simple number, because we are not distributing something like that, 6,000 and divided for 6 months and these type of things. I put it as a simple example to be understandable from everybody, even the one who's not dealing with the project, first of all. Second of all, when, for example, I was a project manager, program manager, managing 600, 700 account director and etc. When I came to put my target, first of all, I'm checking the area. I'm checking everything before I put my target. But the normal managers or the people who, let's say, only dealing with the cases, they are not creative, they are not seasoned managers. What they are doing, they divide the numbers, for example, on the months, for example, and eventually they fall down because they didn't divide it correctly, divided on the number of the implementation. Because if we back to the action plan, and if we remember the action plan, we said your distribution or your implementation, it is only 3 months or 4 months if the project is 6 months, because the first thing that you will hire the people or nominate the people that you have in the project, you'll procure this food parcels and these type of things. So if we are making it a accurate example, we have only implementation 3 or 4 months to be implemented. So in your method, you are open the target for everybody to go and distribute, okay? But if you have a multiple area, for example, Ba'aj, Tel Afar, Hawija, Gayara, Hammam al-Alil, so you should distribute and divide it on the numbers of the overall people that you are wanted to reach, okay? So either way, they not distributed well. If we was putting 6,000 on our example on the first month, they only distribute 400, which is, let's say, minus from 6,000, what will be 5,600, which is also lead out to the same thing. We was having some issue, maybe in the place, maybe in the area. and that's one thing. So another thing which is that good from you when you said it, the amendment or the revising for your proposal or your project, let's say the donor sometimes give you 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, depend on the level of the project, and maybe 1 year depend on the level of the project. Maybe it is development in project and you have a time you can amend or do something. But in this cases, the good study and the good numbering is totally fine and correct. Okay, but the first thing that you have to deal with is when you be a program manager, for example, you should always follow up with your project manager, what they reach. You bring the grant manager, or because the grant manager is something, let's say, new in the humanitarian work, it is almost, they are focusing on it above 5 years or something like that, the grant manager, because the responsibilities of program manager is also the same with grant manager plus another things. Yeah, so when you bring him and ask him, okay, where did they reach in this budget line? Okay, how much they reach, what they spent, what we did not spend. Okay, this is the lines that we, this is which is our target to be distributed, to be to be spent, sorry. So the idea here, it is from the first day that you are managing this project, you should deal with it. Let's say we will, let's say, check with your staff weekly basis, with your project managers weekly basis, not leaving them on the end of the month and checking with them. But in our example also, I mentioned it again, we said you just catch it right now and you find out that they done it like that. So also I'm saying for you, Hind, as a management, yes, it is correct that you put an open target for the first month to find out how many people they will get reach, but also when you are planning it for different places, this is a different story. Thank you. Who else have a question, please? About 200 families that they did not receive the food parcels. Yeah, this is okay. You could not reach them. Okay, so there is something when you are putting the target, which is I think tomorrow we will talk about it, or the day after tomorrow. You should be realistic when you're putting the target, not this target, the percentage of the target, because there is nothing called 100%. Okay, maybe you will pass the 100%, but eventually you should be realistic, not dreamy, because you should put an 5% of error, which will happen. Maybe some area you could not access it, maybe some issue when they are bringing you the information and you only have 5,800 people there. But sometimes when they are hungry and there's a poverty level, when you are coming, they will come to you, and a lot of problem happen in these cases, and they will get from you. And sometimes the staff, they did not register it. Maybe some issue when the vendor bring it to you. So this is the idea here. There is a lot of factors. In the end, if you're not following your staff, if you're not following your meal team, if you're not following your project manager, you will face a lot of issue. Okay, so this is why we're always asking for a report. We're always asking for an emailing, because we should follow up and find out the data. And if there is some wrong, we can fix it. Thank you a lot, guys. Hope you have a great day, and see you tomorrow for the proposal people, and see you the day after that for the meal people. Take care, everybody.